Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Chris Long is live.
Chris Wong is Wong.
Wong is wive. Wong is wive. Waiting for TCRS to say first to Coles. Nope. Lynn got it. TCRS sucks.
TCRS is slacking.
Tim sucks. Tim sucks. He really, really sucks.
It really is.
So, I promised, I think it was Chuck. It's Chuck, right? C-R-I-J, Chuck. That's you, Chuck. We meet again. We do, indeed. Hey, what's up, Aaron? So, iPhone 6s, it charges while off, but does not charge while on. So, the first thing we tested, we plugged in the charger to see what the phone would do, and it would not do anything. It would not charge. It's on, but it does not charge. It does not say it's charging. Does not recognize the charger. When you plug it into the computer, it says USB device not recognized. So, what chip would talk to USB and would also tell the phone that, hey, I think there's a charger present. We need to talk to Tigris and see what information we have and see if it's actually working or not, or if it's charging. So what chip would talk to USB? It would also tell when the charger is present to tell Tigris to start charging the battery.
TriStar. I'm sorry.
Don't listen to Micah. Think for yourself. It's the coil. So Martin says it's the coil. It can be in some cases. I've had an iPhone 6s. There are two coils behind this shield. One of them is for the audio circuit, for the boost for the audio, and one of them is the Tigris boost coil for charging. So, all joking aside, I have replaced that coil. It's been bad before. But that is not what's causing this one. So what would... Plugging in the USB, device not recognized on the computer, and it doesn't charge. What is it? That's the question you have to ask yourself. The USB device not recognized is an immediate giveaway as to what it is. Because there's only one chip that talks to USB. It's not the charge port. Kevin's correct. It is TriStar, as he calls it, 3-star. So TriStar, Micah said it earlier, but yeah, TriStar is it.
I got excited.
TriStar does all your USB communication, and it also controls the USB recognition for whenever the charger is present to tell Tigris, hey, charger's present, you should probably pay attention and see what's going on. And then Tigris is like, oh shit, man, got 5 volts coming in. I better change this into something we can use. So it does. That's my impersonation of Tigris. Tigris is a bit of a stoner.
It makes purple drink for everybody.
It makes purple drink for everybody. Alright, so I clipped back the shield here to get access, and I noticed on the corner of TriStar here, it's got like a discoloration. Almost looks like a burn spot. And that area is the, I think it's the TriStar PIN line, I think is the name of it. Let me look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure it's TriStar PIN. It's a voltage signal coming from the charger to tell TriStar that, hey, charger's present. So I'm going to put this on the other screen so you all can see it. Let's make sure it changed. Yeah, it did. Oh, fuck. Closed out my window. Fuck. Alright, so we're already on the 6S because I was working on one before. So we come down here, and the area around TriStar that is burnt is on this corner. And we have a trace here, which is, let's Tristar bypass. Where is it? There it is, Tristar PIN. So it goes to this exact corner, and if you look on our Tristar, we have what looks to be like a burn mark on this corner of the Tristar, exactly where that Tristar pin line is. So if we go to the schematic, which we will do now, let's open up our schematic. 6S. Come on, computer. Pick it up. Pick up the pace. I know you're doing a lot right now, but you can do it. Alright, well, how about that? It opens us right to the Tristar page. So, if we look here, right here, PP Tristar PIN, if we go up here and we look, that comes from a gate that has USB 5 volt coming in from one side. It goes through the MOSFET and comes out and goes into Tristar, which tells Tristar, hey, we have a charger present, so we need to start charging. Let's see. Amy and I should hang out with Tigress. Aaron says it sounds like Tigress. I don't think it's Tigress. I think it's Tristar. Amy wants to get her hands on a PMIC. Amy, if you want, I can send you one. Now that was a short Lewis stream. It was a short Lewis stream. But sometimes you get lucky. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this Tristar, and we will put a new one on and see if Tristar is the problem. I suspect that it is. Fuck you laughing about, Micah?
I'll show you whenever you get that poll.
Okay, we got Tristar off. What? It's a floppy drive? You're an idiot.
You don't need some floppy drives in your life.
Alright, so I'm trying to see if there's anything that looks abnormal. Now this ball down here is a little abnormal looking. Let's see if that's the corner. Yeah, that's the corner that was burnt. You can see the discoloration in the top there. Like, the rest of the chip looks fairly shiny, and it's just really dull in this corner. And then I noticed when I flipped it over, all of the balls under it look normal, except that very corner one looks weird. So it almost seems like there was an overvoltage of some sort, which is odd, but maybe they had something crazy going with their USB charger that caused that. Maybe there was a short or something. Who knows? Well, we just know what the aftermath was, and let's see if we can remedy the issue. Add a little flux to that. 300 for fixing a flex break. I'm never that lucky. Sometimes you get that lucky. We have I have a MacBook here now that the customer's saying that wouldn't power on after they turned it on. If they turned it off, they couldn't power it back up. They said they had to reset the battery connector every time to make it boot, and we diagnosed it pretty quickly. It's just a bad keyboard. Maybe not that lucky as far as what the repair is, but fairly easy to fix. We also had an iPad Air the other day that had some liquid damage that just had a few, had some corrosion around SMC. Just cleaned it up, checked under the SMC, just kind of looked at it at an angle, didn't see any corrosion under it, cleaned up the components around SMC, and it turned right on. So And it was really weird because the board didn't have any other signs of liquid damage other than right there by the SMC. But if you do enough of these repairs, you run into some easy ones. A poot, oh toot. TCRS, what did you do? What did you do, TCRS? Sorry, I'm like cops all over the place. It seems like every time I talk to you, there's cops or something near your house or something. Where do you live? And secondly, maybe you should move. Alright.
Tell me where I can't live.
I'll tell you where you can't live. Let's grab us a Tristar. What'd you ope about? Did you get an image?
The LCD like popped up for a second.
What are you messing with?
I just turned it off and back on.
Well, that
it's
doesn't...
not. I don't think it's plugged in anymore. So why did it get power?
Stored on a capacitor?
Yeah, it's stored on a capacitor, but it made the, like I was pressed in, the LCD flickered.
Alright, so let's try to get our Tristar in place as much as we can. And then let's go to town. Alright, we need to move it over just a tad bit here. I'm gonna keep dicking with it, and then I'm gonna fuck it up. There, that's good enough. It'll pull itself over. I'm not dicking with it anymore. It's touching the pads at least that it needs to. There it goes, pulls itself into place. Should be good enough. Let's check and see. Yep, we're level. Looking good. Let's cool it off. Give it a little cool. Yep, one more to go. We're almost to 1,000.
That's on. I wonder what that is.
What is it?
The display will work, like can show everything on it. If I power it up with the power cable in, and then with the power still stored on a capacitor, if I unplug it, hit the power on again, I can see everything on the LCD.
Pea water. We know all about pea water here.
We know about pea
We got
water
that pea water.
and those greasy
Water.
with sticky keys.
Did that baseband come back, Amy? So far the basebands I've done have not returned, so I don't know. Maybe there's some promise into those fixes. All right, so now, we got some activity from our Tristar now. So I plugged in so to test Tristar to see if it's functioning on most iPhones and even iPads. If the battery's not connected and you plug in a charging port, so I'm going to plug in a charging port here. And you can see, let me switch over so you can see a broader view. I know it's a little hard to see on that one. I should have switched it back over earlier, sorry. So, if you look here on the amp meter, it's pulling 0 right now. Without the battery plugged in, I'm going to plug in my charger and watch the amp meter. See how it starts to pull amperage? So what's happening there is Tristar sees that the USB is present and it tells the phone, hey man, the USB cord's there, you need to boot up. But when the phone starts to boot, which when it goes up to like 0.1 or 0.12 amps, it's saying, well man, there's no fucking battery, I can't boot. So turns back off and it cycles. So we know that Tristar is now working, which is a good start. So let's pop her back into her frame here, and we will see if it will actually charge and if it will talk to the computer, which I suspect it will. It's pretty interesting. I've never really seen one where there's actually visible damage on a pin like that on Tristar, other than like water damage and stuff. But we actually had some visible damage that gave us a clue other than what we're normally seeing with Tristar. And I suspect, like I said, that had to come from some type of power surge or something. I can't imagine that a constant 5 volt would do that. unless the chip just somehow shorted internally. Alright, so we've got our board back in. You work out of your home, you go to people's places. Amy, I worked from home for several years, so you can make a lot of good customers that way. People are usually willing to travel to you if you offer a service that is worthwhile. And I think that's what really helped me when I moved into this storefront. We already had a decent customer base built up, so keeping it going was not too terribly hard. Alright, so this battery has about 80% charge, so let's see if I plug in the charger, if it'll boot, which I suspect it will. Alright, we got Apple logo, and before we had 0 amp draw on the meter, and now we are pulling almost an amp, which is normal charging voltage for the iPhone on a non-Apple charger. So Tristar is giving us an amp charge now. Well, it's giving us permission for it to charge, and I don't know, you can see it there. We now have, let's see if I can get a little closer. We now have a charging logo, and the battery percentage is green. If I unplug it, it goes away. If I plug it in, it says that it's charging. So yay, we fixed our charging problems. So to recap that one, and Chuck said this wouldn't be a short video, but we're going to make sure that it is a short video. We're going on 16 minutes now. I will put the phone back together on stream just so we can talk about this. So again, for diagnosing Tristar issues, there's a few like dead giveaways. Now sometimes, not granted, it's not always going to be the same exact symptoms, but from what we have seen, and in a community in whole, oh, did I already turn it on? I guess I did. Okay. A community as a whole, the iPhone 6s, well, iPhones in general, when Tristar goes bad, you can get several different symptoms. So the one that I always look for is the plugged in but not actually charging, or charging while off. The phone will charge while it's off because the battery has nothing to talk to while the phone is off, so it goes into kind of like a safe mode charging setup. When the phone is off, it'll charge, but it only charges at a very low amperage, so the phone can't really overcharge the battery or cause any damage because it's charging at such a low millivolt. I think it only charges at either half an amp, or I think it's half an amp. So iPads, you can do the same thing when they have problems with either the charging port or the Tristar chip. If they are not charging while on, you can turn them off and they'll charge. And this is a way it's with the iPad specifically. Sometimes you can limp them through that way, but it is a symptom of Tristar or an issue with communication with Tristar or with the battery. But we knew that Tristar was not talking to the cable here, so we were getting no charge while on. Another symptom is the message on a Windows computer that says the device is not recognized. That tells me that Tristar is not properly communicating through the USB data lines. Another indication of that is if you plug it into a charger and not into a computer, it'll say accessory not supported. That's also a data communication issue with Tristar. And then the other thing that I always test for with Tristars are the unplug the battery and plug in a charger and see if you get that bouncing voltage. So if you're not getting that bouncing voltage, it tells me that Tristar is not seeing the charger and it's not trying to boot the phone. And that's usually a dead giveaway that Tristar is not functioning properly. Now, Tigris can cause some weird issues too with means to booting the phone, because Tigris has a boot line built into it. I think it's actually called Tigris Boot, and I think it talks to, or it's tied to the USB voltage line, I believe, and it can have some problems too. But normally with Tigris, what we see is the phone will say that it's charging. It'll recognize the charger, it'll boot from the charger, it'll show the lightning bolt icon. It'll show that it's charging. It'll say it'll work with a computer sync to it. You won't have any issues with like the sync issues, but the phone won't actually charge. It'll just keep dropping down. So those issues tend to be Tigris related. Like I said, Tigris itself can be bad. We've seen there's a Tigris decoupling AC cap for the internal boost circuit that can go bad. It's the Tigris LX, I think, line that feeds that. That line also goes to the boost coil, which I talked about earlier, that is under the front shield by the battery connector. That coil can fail, and we've seen that before also. One of them we opened up, the coil was actually lifted off the board on one side due to, I guess, a power surge causing it to kind of lift itself and separate the coil from the charge or the boot line, or not boot line, the boost line. And that line, since it was not present, cannot boost up the voltage to charge the battery, because the USB voltage is 5 volts. You can't take 5 volts and dump it into a LiPo battery. You end up causing some serious problems, especially since they're supposed to be limited to about 4.2 volts maximum. And that's what Tigris does. It does the current and voltage limiting to charge the battery properly. That way you're not burning your phone up or burning your battery up. Buffering? Is it buffering? Not buffering on my end. I had 16 frames drop, so nothing terrible. We've had more without buffering. But I think that's probably going to end this stream, because I told Chuck, and if you all are mad about it, you need to talk to Chuck, who is CRI J2000. Tell him that you're not happy with him saying that I was going to have a long stream. This stream's not terribly long or anything. What are we at? 22 minutes. I think we'll make a few short ones. That way we can appease some of the people that get angry with my 4-hour streams. I'm going to get back on in a little while. I've got 2 that are probably Mason. They're 6 pluses. So we're going to check that out. Just to make sure that you all can see it still. There you go. 81% says that it's charging. So we are, don't blame me, cherry pick devices. I think we're at 1 sub away from 1,000, so that's pretty fucking awesome. We haven't been very long, so that's pretty good. Nate, Chris, I was able to fix that 6 Plus after talking to you last night. Thanks. I now have another that's messed up. Now I have another that's messed up? What's wrong with it, Nate?
What the fuck is that?
Oh, somebody's phone. Oh, that lady's phone that we put the screen on. Well, that's good. Oh, I remember that phone.
Do you now?
Yeah, that was the one that was shorted out. She brought it to the flea market, I think. Did a recovery off an XP. Customer wanted everything, so I recovered all the deleted files that were intact. When he was looking through it in front of me, that's a ghost face I'll not forget. We've seen some... Oh, 1,001 subs. Fuck yeah! How about that?
Oh, you went over, Chris. That's
we made 1,000, man. That's awesome. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'll make a video probably a little later. I'm gonna do a giveaway and probably give away a couple t-shirts and stuff since we hit 1,000. And then if we keep growing like this, I'll give some more stuff away in the future. I appreciate everybody that's subbed and is watching. Free beers. Greg's buying everybody free beers, so 1,000 subs goes to TCRS. Did you make a separate account just to like it again? But so I'm gonna give away some t-shirts, and then in the future we'll give away some more things as we gain more subs and stuff, and it helps us out a lot here. Having everybody kind of look in and add their 2 cents and stuff. But we'll give some more cool shit away. I'm sure we'll give some more expensive stuff away, especially if the channel keeps growing. Amazon referral links for the work outside the U.S. That I'm not sure about if they work outside the U.S. I'll have to check and see. The Amazon affiliate stuff has been going pretty well. We've had, I think, 70 items bought off the list, or at least 70 items bought after clicking the link. So definitely appreciate you all clicking the links on them. If you want to click the link and buy cat food, by all means buy cat food. Every little bit counts. We're gonna go ahead, we're almost to the point financially. I'm gonna go ahead and order the flash PC flash 3000 stuff, so we can do some SD data recovery for SD cards and flash drives, and different chip off recoveries for data. And then we're also check with Lewis. He set up referral links for countries. Okay, I'll do that. Thanks, Greg. I'll set up some referrals outside of the US. But we're gonna start doing some chip off recoveries for different chips and stuff, so kind of expand what the channel shows. I know sometimes looking at just iPhones over and over may get a little boring, but again, thank you all for subbing, and thank you for watching. Especially, it's much more entertaining when we have people in here talking and actually holding conversations than when it's just me trugging away at some stupid board. But anyway, check back in probably about an hour. I'm gonna stream these 2 iPhone 6 Pluses, and I will also kind of go over this MacBook here how we diagnosed that the power button wasn't working. That way you all have an idea of how to kind of check those things. Everybody have a good day. See you all in about an hour. And if you like E3, go check out the E3 conference stuff. Video game stuff's always been entertaining to me, so it's pretty cool to check out. Chuck, are you streaming now, Chuck? If you are, I'll definitely check them out. Everybody go check out everybody's pages. I mean, don't just look at mine. There's plenty of people doing this stuff. There's a lot of really cool information out there. I check out new channels daily if I can to kind of learn new things. So definitely go check them out, and everyone have a good day. See y'all in a little bit. Might go stop playing.